life. Oh,
What is up, you guys? It's Thockey here, bringing you another Call of Duty Black Ops 4 Lines of Sight video. Today we're going to be doing the map Frequency. I'm trying something a little different this time. I'm not going to use any bots, and I don't have any friends here to help me. I'm just solely going to be showing off the spots. I think that the past few videos it's been a little bit distracting to have bots running everywhere, my friends running everywhere. So for this video, I'm just going to be me and just going to record me showing off the spots. So I hope you guys like this. If you guys think this format is a little bit better, let me know in the comments below. But if you're new, subscribe, hit the like button if you learned something today. And without further ado, we're going to jump into Search and Destroy on Frequency. Just like all other videos, we're going to be doing Search and Destroy, Domination, and Capture. So actually it's Control. I keep messing that up. So we're going to jump right into Search, and I'll show you guys the line spots. Alright, so here we are. We just joined a game of Search and Destroy on Frequency. Unfortunately, for Search at least, there's not very many lines of sight. So I'm just going to briefly and very quickly go over the lines of sight. The first one, if you guys didn't know, that jump and spot is right there. If you need to evade enemies that are being right here, you can jump on top of that little platform and go all the way around. But the only thing that I would recommend is crouching right up next to this broom on this orange wall. You can peek over the top of a bomb. There will be people standing over the top of a crate down there, that crate right there. It's the only real line of sight for B, is looking down that alleyway. And that's just coming from spawn to your right and then coming right here next to this broom. But that's about it. I will say one thing: if you can plant on B, I'm going to go ahead and do that. If you can plant on B, there's a decent place to hide and guard the bomb. So we'll quickly plant this and then we'll run over here. This little place right back here is something that I like to use because most often people on the defending team will be coming from that side of the map and they'll be coming like towards this way, and so you get a first line of sight on people going to defuse the bomb. The only thing is, if people get smart, you can come up and down this little ladder area right here. And so for that reason, you're not really well covered from behind, but it is a decent little spot to guard the bomb. And you could also climb up that ladder and then stand right here and guard the bomb from up here as well. But once again, there's not very much cover. I'm not even going to show you guys attacking A because there's just not a line of sight. I wouldn't recommend going A. And we're going to jump to the defensive team, and I'll show you guys those. Alright, so here we are. We're on defense. And the reason that there were no good attacking lines of sight on A is because of how good the defensive line of sights on A were. The first one is you come right from spawn like this, and then you're just going to go standing. You can't go crouched, unfortunately, next to this crate, but you're in a pretty good cover, and also you blend in with that helmet and that little steel beam right there. And so this is a pretty good line of sight. You can pick off people coming to A that way, as well as people that are coming to A from that way. The other line of sight is up here, and you want to like be in this door frame right here, and you can kind of peek over the top of A bomb that way and pick off people going to A bomb. The only problem with this one is that you have people that'll be coming from mid right here. They could climb in your window, and also your back is not covered from your spawn. So if somehow they get into your spawn and they flank you guys, you're pretty much screwed standing right there. The reason that I chose this door frame as opposed to being up here is because if you're here and you're losing a gunfight, going here is not necessarily going to save you. Unfortunately, in Black Ops 4, the gun, like the bullets, go through almost every wall. So like unless it's a sandbag, you're going to get shot. And so I don't really like this wall. The reason I have you back here is because you'll have cover from this, the front side of this wall, back side of this wall, and this wall. So if you start losing a gunfight, just dip out right here. You have so much more cover. That's the reason I chose the door frame as opposed to this. But we're going to move over to B-bomb and show you those lines of sight. Now, B-bomb defensive line of sight is not that great. I'm just going to go ahead and throw that out there. But there is a decent one if you want to crouch behind this like ventilation system. This will give you a good line of sight all the way down to like that corner where that broom was that I showed you. If you kind of want to hide like head glitch next to this toolbox so that you kind of blend in, that's the best defensive line of sight. You could also come over here. It's not as good though, you don't see as far. So this little ventilation system is the best one that I've come up with, and unfortunately that's about it. Search and Destroy on this map on Frequency is not the greatest. So without further ado, we're going to jump into a game of Control. I said it right this time. We're going to jump into a game of Control, and I'll show you those lines of sights. Alright, so here we are. We're in a game of Control on frequency. The first thing I want to show you guys, we're on the attacking side, so we're going to go to A first, as always. A first, B second. The only line of sight for attacking A, really, is this little line of sight right here. Now, everyone uses this crate like it's not a surprise. This little, I guess, air conditioning vent. Everyone really knows about this. The reason that this is so good, though, is because these construction helmets spawn in right here, and they provide you a little bit of cover. Now, obviously, they can be shot off, so mid-game, probably not the best spot, but it does give you a little advantage. You can catch people poking around that corner or poking around this corner. That's really the only true attacking A spot. Now, I will say there's another one. If you're able to push mid, and now this is only a temporary line of sight, you're not going to camp this location. Say they have people on A, they're guarding A heavily. If you come up to like this little vent system right here and you peek that way into A site, it's a pretty good little offensive spot to kind of, I guess, maneuver them out of the A site. Now, the best place to capture A that I have found is to lay right up next to this cylindrical column and look that way. It's a pretty good little capture spot. You have a decent line of sight on people coming towards A site to get you. Now, obviously, you could head glitch this stuff, but you can shoot through these, so I don't really recommend it. I recommend laying right here next to this column. Now, you're vulnerable from this side, but it's the best I can do. Alright, so now we're going to check out the attacking B side line of sight. There's not that many B lines of sight as well. Like, this map just isn't great for lines of sight, I'm going to be honest. You could use the same one as search right here next to broomstick. You could also creep up to here and use this AC vent system. Now, there is a really good place to capture. I recommend hopping on top of this little box right here. Reason being, you can protect yourself that way and that way. See, you can kind of be hidden if you go this way towards the box, but also if you go this way towards the edge, you can still poke around and pick off people that go to this vent system to try to kill you. So you have a decent line of sight on both places that you could be attacked from. And that's pretty much it for lines of sight on B side and A side attacking. I'm going to switch to defense, and I'm going to show you guys those lines of sights. Alright, so here we are on defense. Once again, like I said, this map is not very favorable towards lines of sight. This is probably going to be the shortest lines of sight video that I've made because of how little there is to show off. The same crate of search right here, nothing new there. You blend in with the hard hat helmet and the metal beam. Defensive line of sight for A as well is you could do the same thing as I showed you on offensive. Say someone is on A site capturing it, you would be able to pick them off if they go around the corner right here. But like I said, this is temporary. You're very much so out in the open. Defensive line of sight on B as well. You could pick off people capturing from up here. Since people that are on offense will most likely be downstairs rather than upstairs because they're trying to capture, you probably won't run into many people picking you off. Now, you are in the open. If someone does go upstairs, you're screwed. But for a short little while, this would be a good place to pick off people going towards B. The other thing, you could use the same little vent system as search, and you could also come over here and kind of pick off people. A lot of people that are capturing like to go to that crate. I showed you not to go to that crate, so if people watch this video, you might see a lot of people not going there anymore. But in the meantime, while this is still working, people go to that crate, you'll be able to pick them off from this corner right here next to this open vent system as well. You could also defend right here. You could always like lock down this little spot and contest because of how hidden you are from both angles. But that's pretty much it for Control. Now, this map is not doing me any favors for lines of sight videos, but we're going to jump into a game of Domination, and hopefully B flag will give me a lot more options. Alright, so here we are. We're in a game of Domination, and we are starting on the A side. I was able to find one more spot that you could probably apply to Search and Destroy and Control. It's from A spawn. You're going to want to turn left from spawn and come down here. And now this is it's a pretty good little spot. Gets you a good little line of sight. You crouch, you lay down, actually you go prone behind this little beam right here, and you have a good line of sight on people that camp these vents, as well as people that are just coming around the corner. You can see pretty far into spawn. Now, unfortunately, you can't look more right than this, but you can like move yourself over in order to see to the right of vents. But the reason this spot is so good is because first of all, you blend in with those cones, as well as you blend in with all of this moss in the background. It's a really good spot. Now I was looking at it from the other side, and as you can see, there is nothing to blend in with on this side. So I would not really recommend laying over here on this side, just because of you're not blending in with anything. You're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. Now the other lines of sight, I mean, I wish B flag wasn't here. I wish it was up there so we could have more to talk about, but just these vents again is all that I really have, as well as this vent is more crucial because of where the B placement is. It's no longer over here, it's more on this side, so this vent is a lot more crucial. But I was able to find good capture points for both teams. First things first, on A side, since people are going to be coming from that way, it's a really good spot to lay right here. So you have a good line of sight on people poking their heads right there, and they're going to be expecting you to be like standing right over here or something, or even up here, getting a good line of sight on them. So for that reason, this spot is pretty good. As well as for on the other team, if you want to come in and lay this way, if you're on the C team and you want to look this way for A, it's a pretty good pretty good spot to capture it as well. Now, C side lines of sight for defending B, honestly, like this one doesn't work. It's not as good as that one down there. So you're just kind of out of luck. So if you spawn in C side, try to capture A, flip the spawns, and then use that spot down there as well. One thing that I did also want to point out though that I really liked is that really you should utilize this center platform because people can't shoot through this. Well, they can, but not from the sense that it's not going to go all the way through that to the other side. They would have to shoot through the top side to hit you, but this is a pretty good line of sight. Like if you're really dominating, say you're on C and you have C and B and you're looking into A spawn, this is a really good line of sight to I did not realize that left trigger punches. So there you go. If you didn't know, left trigger also punches left fist. Anyways, so if you're looking for a good line of sight on A, use this, as well as you can hop over to the other side, crouch, and then take out people up in that sniper tower. So you could also do this from both angles. So this side, you can pick off people coming from C that way. You could jump across here and use that to pick off people in the sniper's nest there. Other than that, that's pretty much it. That's the only lines of sight. I really just wanted to show you guys this capture point because that's really crucial and really helpful, as well as this line of sight over here through the fence looking that way. But that's going to be it for domination. That's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys learned something. Leave me a comment down below. What was your favorite line of sight? My favorite personally was that fence line of sight for B site domination. That's the map frequency lines of sight. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are actually enjoying this series. Also let me know if you like this format better, without any bots, without any friends, and we'll just go from there. So if you're new, once again, subscribe, hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one.